Oh, welcome back to Anything Goes Garage. It's Friday. It's raining. And it's gonna rain tomorrow. But we are in the shop. The stove is going. The dogs are drying out. And it's here. It's on the lift. So, hope you guys all enjoyed the last video. It's kind of fun doing that video. That was fun. I mean, I like dissecting cars I know nothing about and something with a little history. So, Saturday I'm supposed to go pick up a 10 bolt for this with 308s. I'm gonna pull this rear out and put off this side for now. I have 370s and a posi unit, which I may use. Unless, no, I can't use the Detroit locker in here because it's a different series. Whatever. We'll figure something out. So I'll put the 10 bolt in there for now for cruising. Last night I cleaned the clutch, the flywheel up. I cleaned and inspected the clutch, which was brand new. The flywheel was just cut. It just had some rust jacking in between it. It was right on the verge of sticking. But that thing, I don't think that thing had one, I think it had one pass on it. And the motor kind of, bought the farm. Because there wasn't even a scratch or a hot spot on that thing, on that flywheel or the clutch. So it's a stock clutch. It's just going. So here, you guys are going to crucify me, is my Detroit Diesel Green 305 that I put together. Well, not the whole, I did the top end on it. In one of my previous videos, probably last year. It's a 305. It was out of one of those trucks from a couple years back, some more videos. And I put it on the test stand, it ran good, it didn't smoke. I took the heads off. What did I do? Valve seals. I think we lapped the valves in, checked everything, checked the guides, they were all good. The engine was pretty clean inside. So I yoinked the cam out and I put a 48 hydraulic cam in it, a new set of lifters, and I have stock springs on it for now, but I'm gonna break it in with, and then I'm gonna put these Z28 springs on there while on the engine. So it's got a brand new timing set. I believe I degreed it. It's probably on a 106 or 7. I think I got it written down somewhere. Something for a little low end grunt, which these do not have. They can make up some upstairs power. It's got 305 heads on it. What are you gonna do? You can only, put so much turd in a 5-pound bag. So tonight, I'm gonna spray the bolts down for the rear. If I get that rear tomorrow, which I'm supposed to, he already marked it sold. And so there's a bunch of stuff, 125 bucks. Can't go wrong. I used to have those 10 bolts stocked up like cords of wood. I had Chevelle bodies all over the place back in the old days when I lived in my parents' house. My buddy used to race them, and I ended up with his collection. And he passed away, unfortunately. But before he did, he gave me all his Chevelle stuff, and yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Do I pull the rear tonight or not? One question I had, I was looking underneath this thing yesterday, is how do you get the rear out with those ladder bars welded to it and the bolts that go through where the bushing didn't exist? How do you get the bolts out when they're welded to the frame? Let me take you under there and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Fire up the light. Whoa, holy crap, wrong way. It's like pointing the pew pew in your face and pulling the trigger. All right, so where I was is, yeah, num 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 num. So I had talked about this bolt right here with no bushing, all right? It's got no nut. Well, the bolt on the other side is welded to the bracket. All right, this one here, it's what it's supposed to look like. That one's welded to the bracket. Panzer, you're in the way again. Sorry about the light. How do you get the rear out? Well, you can't go in with these. You can't flex them, so you either got to cut the bolts off or cut this tab off. So, yeah, that's the dilemma. Oh, look at that big old gap between the bolt. Then bolts are too long for those control arms. Well, these ought to be interesting because I'm going to pull these control arms out. They're box. That's a I think that's a factory box. Yeah, that's a factory box. I'm going to pull these out, clean them up, maybe rebush them if they haven't been done. I got to get rid of these. Somebody welded those extensions to raise up the back of the car for those big M&Hs. I don't know. I think I want to pull the rear tonight. What do you think, guys? I think I should pull the rear. Oh, and actually the emergency brake cables does work, but I'm missing all the stuff that goes all the way up to that right there, so. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I said it in a video or showed it. I found a time slip in the seat. Wasn't much I want. It was from Englishtown, I think 2006. It was stuffed between the seat. I think it went 1938 in the quarter at, I think, 60 miles an hour. I'm wondering if that's the pass that blew the engine. It's the only time slip I had found. I'll have to go topside, and I think it's in the glove box. So, all right, let me ponder if I'm going to take this rear apart, because I do have a C-clip eliminator. Looks like the back of this back end plate's a little wet, as is that one, which is common. They may even be loose, those bolts. So, all right. Let me see here. I got to be able to get this car in and out of the shop, so I got to hopefully I bring that rear home tomorrow. If not, we're throwing this back in. But I got to get these brackets off. We'll fire up the old plas cutter, and we'll buzz that off and grind all this down and get rid of all that mess, and maybe cut those extensions off. But I still, I still got work to do. So, all right, let's do this. All right, so for our first trick to start this removal, we're gonna take out this drive shaft. First, I can't put it in gear, so try to get this thing out. Yeah, I'm gonna put my cigar down because I'm gonna need both hands to hold this drive shaft, being there's no engine to hold this thing from spinning. Ta-da! Holding device. All right, let me see here if I can get this in here. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work. Might. These have been on here a while. There we go. Just want to crack them loose, and then I can get my ratcheting wrench on here. Ooh, that one wasn't even tight. Don't you two start arguing. Don't mind the characters down there. You know who that is. They got a piece of firewood they're playing with. Oh, no. Scared me. Alright, make sure I didn't lose no needles. Last thing we're gonna do is lose needles, or we'll have to buy another U-joint. Okay. Alright, whoever took the measurements on this drive shaft, you screwed it up. Ha ha! Ouch. Yes. Yep, they screwed up. It'll come out, but there it goes. There we go. Sorry it took too long. Alright, so now, before I pull out the drive shaft, I need to put in this plug. Let's call it a plug. Transmission plug. It's an old slip yoke from another Turbo 350, 3-speed, 4-speed. As long as it's fine spline, it's good. Maggie, don't be eating the U-bolts. So let's... There it goes. I think she was bottomed out. So we don't make too big of a mess. We'll do a backup with that. Hey, look, nothing came out good. But I'm gonna put this in there anyway to keep the buggies out. And that don't look too bad. This is a homemade, well, not homemade, but it's a manufactured drive shaft, not by GM. All right, so we have our transmission jack with my homemade rear fixture tool for dropping and installing rears. Why buy one when you can make it? You know how many rears this thing is put in, taken out? It's funny. It's actually not funny. think I built this for my, I built this, I think, for my, when I mini tubbed my 56, put the 9-inch in it. That's when I built this. I got tired of putting it up on a pole jack, because the pole jacks are a little I'll just put a little pressure on it. That's tight, that's tight. All right, and let's see here. I guess we're gonna have to go after, I'm gonna try the Sawzall. I'm trying not to light the Plaz off in here with the doors shut open, the doors closed. I'd rather do it then when the doors are open. Plus it's gonna make smoke. So I'm gonna go after and get my Sawzall with my Diablo blade. Try to lop off those bolts. I can clean those brackets off later with the plasma cutter. And if I get this thing on the ground, then we might be able to do something. But I'm just, sparks in my shop just don't go with me in an afternoon, no less. Say I go to bed tonight and the place decides, oh look, it's smoldering, let's go up and smoke. So we don't want that. So I'm gonna get out some blades and first gotta find my Sawzall somewhere around here. Armed. Diablo. Alright, ready for this? Here we go. Let's see if this works. I think it's working. Can't tell, there's a bushing in the way. They cut the bushing. Ow, that hurt. Ow. Ow. Yeah. Diablo says no. Auto dismantling. I think it dismantled the blade. I've never had this problem. I've cut hardened factory GM bolts out with this thing, so. Let me go get, will you two stop doing what you're doing and go away? Really? This is what I deal with. Really? Go lay down. Alright, I guess I'm just gonna cut this bar somewhere in here. I think I destroyed this blade, but let's try it anyway. Up against here. Ooh, I must cut the hanger for the. Yeah, I destroyed this blade. Let's try a fresh one. Woo! There it goes. We got it. Look at that. No bushing. Bubby, you're gonna burn your nose on that. Silly monster. Let's see how much downward force this has on it. Just a little. Wow. She was pushed. Ooh, I bruised my thumb when I did that. Anybody ever bruise a bone? That hurts. Ooh, so I jammed it. So okay, there is definitely some tension on these things. So that's where it is. That's where it is when it's cut. There's where it was. So you tell me that there wasn't no tension on that. Oh, look at the thickness of that. That's like ½ inch, 5/8, solid bar. So let me, I guess, do the other side. I won't bore you with this. We'll just cut it off. Wow, this thing has an ungodly amount of pressure on it. And look how loose this bolt is. It ain't even tight. That's nice. This is how you preload them. I don't know what's going on here, but this thing's got a lot of downward pinion force for some reason. Oops. It makes me a little nervous, so. I'm still not cut all the way through. This makes me even more nervous, or I need to break this. And I don't want to break. Every time I put the saw through it, it pinches it, and pinches it, and pinches it. So, kind of glad I didn't cut this with a torch. I think I might have to pick up on the pinion on this. That's what I think the problem is. The springs are pushing down the pinion. Success. All right, it does not off. Because this thing had a lot of preload. Look at all the preload this thing had. If I would have just cut that, that thing would have bounced. So, yeah. Look at these, ain't even tight. Wow. Oh boy. This looks like gonna be interesting. Glad I soaked them. These are definitely the wrong bolts for this. Yay! Success! Alright. Well, I guess we'll do the top ones. I don't need what do you call it? Swivel for that. I think I soaked these. Okay. That could be good or bad. That could be good or bad. So we're going to carefully drive these bolts out. I hope. Hopefully long these bolts. Bottom out. I hope these. Hope them control arms come out. And I'll have to take the backing plates off to get the bolts through the control arms. Okay. Bottomed out for some reason. Huh. Interesting. These are out. That's not good. I might have to cut these bolts off. Just get the control arms out. Oh my. Somebody put too long of a bolt in this thing, and now when you're driving through, up against the backing plate. Unless you remove the backing plate and break the seal to the C-clip eliminators, yeah, that's not gonna work. All right, so as you can see, we're hitting the backing plate because the control arm bolt is too long. As I showed you how much thread was sticking out here. I don't know where they got these bolts from, but they're not out of the control arm, between the rear and the control arm, so I can't drop the control arm to get the rear out. So now I'm gonna have to go all the way up here to the front and undo the upper control arm, or lower control arms from the top. I did get these unbolted up here. These are undone. She rattled around a little bit. I think I'm gonna drop this down a little bit, get the tension off these springs here. And we're getting close. Those are a pain. You just gotta get a long socket going through that hole with an extension, because it's, or a swivel, because it's on an angle. But it does go. This ain't my first rodeo, so hopefully everything goes well. Let me spray them up. And there you go. Nothing a little heat couldn't fix. Haha. Ooh, hot nuts, hot nuts. Dog, you put that in your mouth, you're gonna regret it. Let's see, here's a game of let's not lose the socket in the frame. Alright, we're going to try this without heat on this side. Maybe it'll go. Okay, got lucky on that one. So, fine. Ooh, wow, that one just kind of right through. That one just fell out. Jeez. Oh, the fun part is, oh, wait, I might get lucky. Ta-da. Usually got to use a magnet and a pair of needle nose to retrieve them out of the frame. All right, so you always got to remember before you pull the rear out of this thing, there's a clip right here on this emergency brake cable that mounts it to the frame. I call it the Mickey Mouse clamp because it looks like Mickey Mouse. Sometimes you can get them out with a clip, with a, what do you call it? A hose pick, tool, whatever. I'm trying not to hit the camera and hit myself, stab myself, so let me put you guys up here. Hold on. See, sometimes they come out easy. Oh, that was easy. All right. And that, I don't know if you can see this. That's why they call them. Let me see here. It's like Mickey Mouse. Hold on. Can't get the light right. I don't know, most of you guys know, but yeah, there you go. Looks like Mickey Mouse. That holds that emergency brake cable in the frame. And you also have to remove this cable attacher. And then you can pull this through. Like so. Without it, you'll never get the rear out. And with the other one removed, and this other bracket that needs to come off, these here connect all the cables together. Thank God those things are still attached. All right, that's out. So now once I get the control arms out, the bolts out, I can drop this out, which should be about now. I think I'm out. I just gotta knock these things down and make sure this rear doesn't do a nosedive. Because they have a tendency, because you have the springs pushing down on that front pad. It's not like a G-body, 78 to 86, where they're directly on top of the rear housing. Well, these are not. These are mounted on the front part of the rear, so they push down. So they what makes the pinion want to go down. But when they're mounted on top of the tube, then they just push that way down, not forward pinion down. So let's see what we can get done. All right, it's almost out now. One control arm came out, one to go. Come on. Stuck in the stuckies. It's got the stuckies. It's a little on the cattywampus side. Didn't have this. Come on. You can do it. There it is. You can do it. Shoo-wee! See if we can back this up a little bit. There it goes. Yay! All right, I'm still supporting the pinion. All right, technically it's unbolted. Look at that. That's success. Now the only fun part, well, you know what? I was just gonna say, now I just need help getting it off of this thing. I got a forklift now. Love that thing. That thing saved me a lot of phone calls. There you are, 112 bolt almost removed. So that ain't coming out. I have to take the backing plate off. I might just, being these bolts are too long, I'm just gonna torch them. I'm gonna put all new bolts anyway. But this, somebody weld the washers in here. That's how you used to reinforce them. There is also a brace that goes from here to somewhere. Over there to, from here to there, and that's the SS. SS only would have a, you can buy a repop. There was a brace that goes from this to that control arm. It strengthens all this up. I may put them in there because it is a big car. Look at this. And they look like they've been replaced. No, the bushing's not even tight in the control arm. Who pressed this stuff in? Shoo. Some blind guy? I gotta cut these off too, because they're only supposed to be right there. And the snubbers are missing. All that can be sought after. Look at you. Wow. Holy wow. I gotta fix that, but look at these inner wells. Besides the quarters, the inner wells are almost, oh, never mind. Oh, there's a big cut in there. That ain't rust. Something got caught up in there. A little rust right there, which is normal. Goes into the rocker. All the crap lays in the back of the rocker. This side's a little bit more speed hole. Quarter's been rolled. Car was once like a turquoise. Oh, this is in pretty good shape. It's all undercoated. That's the biggest rust hole in the whole car. Not bad. All right, so now I'm going to come up with a game plan to get this rear on the ground. Maybe I'll get the forklift, open the door, and just pick it up with the forks. set it on something. Because the new rear shows up tomorrow. I'm going to put them in. I think these are, you know what? These bushings are solid bushings. That's probably why they never went in there. That one didn't go in all the way either. All right, so we're gonna try to remove this tank tonight. As you can see, the rear is free. Be free. Be free, rear. Well, not quite, but maybe tomorrow in between the raindrops, I'll push it outside and start hacking off those brackets. And yay, it didn't break, but it sure is a little warm. Woo-wee. All right. That's out. Now hopefully the tank slides out of here fairly easy. Probably not though. One screw holding this panel in. Could it be possible? Did somebody put it in here at one screw? When there's 1, 2, 3 holes? 4 holes? 5 technically. One screw. I guess you were saving weight by not putting the rest of the screws in. Oops. There's a ground for the sender, and there, right there, is the rusty stocked up bolt, and this is one goofy looking tank. I hope I can buy one of these if this is no good. Oh wow. Let me see here, let me spray that down. I hope I can do something with that. Out. There it goes. Just worry about where to stay. Trying not to drop. Well, that was a vent. Panzer. He just ran off with something. Wow, look at that. Oh, I got fuel all over the floor. All right. So there we are, one fuel tank and fuel on the floor. Nasty, brown, yucky fuel. Now we gotta get this off, which should just pull off like that. All right, so this hole goes to a series of brackets and a rod that goes up and hooks to that column. And that column piece turns up on that neutral safety switch, and it also turns on the backup lights. They do repop that whole mess. I know it's like 150 bucks because I was gonna put it in Brother Mark's car because his was missing, and he didn't want to do it, so I was like, okay. All right, good morning. As you can see, there's a little bit of room here to get between the car and the rear. And last night I worked on this door, and now look at that. I just don't want to hit the door, but it does open. Now that is not a step. There's actually a latch in here that works for swinging it out this way. The other latch I have yet to get fixed yet, so we got the stuckies in there. So that's an accomplishment all on its own. Of course, we got the tank out and the springs and all that good stuff. So today we're gonna go pick up parts. Hopefully pick up score radiator support, a header panel, whatever we need for this car. I may go for fenders if the price is right. Whatever I can find. The inner door handles, the vent window cranks, maybe the door cards, which I don't think I'm gonna find. Stuff like that. I think I'm just gonna make those screens for the cowling. I did it out of fabric wire, like chicken wire last time, just to keep the helicopters and leaves out of it and the pine needles. So maybe we can score a wiper motor. I think that's a single speed. You know what? I should check that. I think that's a single speed. Could be a double. I don't know. 1, 2. Nope, it's a 2-speed. Okay. I think the stripped down models were 1-speed, single speed, the square motors. Around motors were 2-speed, so that was a 2-speed. I gotta find the wiring. It's in that harness and taped up somewhere. So, yeah. We gotta find stuff. I need a bumper. But, let me go, I'm gonna get some stuff together here. I gotta get the plasma cutter ready. I wanna cut all those bars off that rear, pick up that rear, and get it out of the way. It's a little early yet. I don't wanna be starting the machine up with a backup alarm. I don't wanna upset my neighbors. You know, I don't play that game. So, I will be back. Oh, here we go. You know what we can do today? The old marker out. What we got done on the car so far. All right, so remove fuel system. Okay, clean interior. I kind of got that done. We kind of fixed the back door, but I'm not going to race it until it opens all the way. We checked the brakes. All the brakes are new. And I pulled the rear. I removed the drag shocks, but I still have this one left front that the bolt doesn't want to come off. Let me get you in here. And it's a shame, they're a nice set of drag shocks, but the nut on that one will not come off. It's locked up. And I can't grab the top of that with vice grips. It just keeps spinning. So I'm going to do my best to get that out without destroying that shock. So at least there's 4 nice drag shocks if somebody needed them. Because they're like brand new. So they're not leaking or nothing. They're probably hardly used. They're old Lakewoods or something. So they're not old actually. So I think that's it for now, and then I'll come back to you when I get parts. Okay, so here we are again. Window goes up, and the window goes down. Worked on this thing for a few hours, and now this opens up like it should. And I cleaned all the jams out. That is actually a latch. This is what latches the door here. I got that a little straighter. This is sticking out, but this was bent out of adjustment. So now this one here, it opens, but the spring down in here, there's a mount, and the mount broke. But it will go down, but it doesn't sound good, so it does work now. So that's a big accomplishment right there. I blew out the inside of the door, all the dirt in there, vacuumed everything out, and re-lubed all the motors and slides, and taped up some harnesses and fixed all that mess in there. So I just got to clean the glass and go through. I'm gonna get these backup lights to work. I don't know if it's a wiring issue or switch issue or fuse issue, but I want all this stuff to work. I got a tail light out there. Yeah, so we're getting there. Something accomplished. So I was supposed to go on a little tour to go look at parts of Marketplace. I mean, the guy back and forth. He's got parts all over Marketplace, okay? And he seemed pretty reasonable guy, and 3 times I've asked him for an address. And he doesn't give me an address. He just asked me for how close are you to Philly, and I told him, and he goes, okay, you're not far away. So he continued to talk, you know, back and forth on Marketplace. Still nothing after last night. So this morning, hey, give me an address so I can plan my day, because I have to go pick up a rear at 2 o'clock. Well, he didn't even read it. Crickets. So obviously, my money's no good. His parts aren't buyable or attainable. So if he doesn't want to make money, he doesn't want to sell stuff, that's on him. Screw him. I'm over people like that. This is why Marketplace is such a joke. Same thing goes with my ads. I post all the information up on my stuff, and they ask the question, what's diameter is a hose, or whatever's on the thing that I'm selling. And it's right there. I literally had to put in capital letters, please read the ad before asking dumb questions. Yeah, dumb questions. All right, let me get back to work. It's starting to rain again. I was going to go out there and blast or cut those brackets off, because obviously I'm not going for Chevelle parts. Maybe I'll work in here now, because I have to see what's under here. That's where the spare goes, and I know the bottom of that's rotted out. I think this comes off. I still got to vacuum this up and get all this crap out of here, so that's what I'm going to work on next. All right, so we got that all vacuumed out, and now we're going to see what's under this thing. I have yet to look at this, believe it or not. Woo! There we go. The correct 69 Chevelle Division of Motor Vehicles. Chevrolet Motor Division. Yeah. Yeah, they're nice. A couple of dents in that one. And then we got a couple of old bottle caps. And God knows what that is. There's a plug to the floor. She's a little rusty. I don't think it ain't through over here. It's just, over there's a little pitted. Then we got an AC 45S with one of them anti-foulers. So whatever engine was in this thing, 307 most likely. Oh, there is some rust through here. 307 must have been using some oil. So let me get this thing cleaned out, and I'm going to oil up this hinge because she's not happy. And I'm going to punch the bottom of this thing back down where it belongs. All right. Working. A little tin can. The rest I can do with a rubber hammer. Yeah, that's better. All right, the rest of this is a rubber hammer. Back it out again. All right, so it's a little cleaned out better than it was. Yeah, it's gonna. I can patch that with a piece of flat steel and do some seam sealer magic. It's not too bad in there. I doubt they're going to be able to sell any of that stuff. Yeah, I've got in the corners here. Guess I'll check my marker lights for them working. I'm going to say this possibly was leaking in here, or the moisture got in there. Hey guys, I'm back from that long journey all over PA, up and down the east part of it, to get what few parts I could get. That was one ordeal. That guy was a... Whew. He was in, he played to the beat of his own drum, however that saying is. Boy, he's out there. But nice guy though. I'll show you what I got. All right, so I did get a 68, 69 header panel, already sand and primed and paint and primer. I wonder if the car ran as good as the paint. I just got to paint the inside of this thing because it's not been painted, because that's the way I roll. A little bit of body work, it looks like right there. I gotta go over what I buy off of him next time, a little closer. So I think I paid $100 for that, which was a little steep. And I got what door handles I needed plus an extra. And he charged me $90 for all this. And I mean, he couldn't even give me the clips for the back of them. I'm like, come on. Or the springs for $90 for some used handles? Come on, man. Yeah, I'm just griping right now. I'm just kind of cranky, but it's true. Then I bought this, the wiper, they call the transmission for the wiper blades through the through the cowling. That was another $50 with a broken off bolt in it, of course. And he wouldn't even work with me on that. You know, you just can't, you know, what the heck? What are you doing? Why are you sitting on your sister? Why? You guys are a pain. Ouch. Look at this. And I also bought this small block / 6-cylinder radiator support. It has been modified. Somebody cut this out a little bit here. Or no, wait, I'm sorry. This side, they cut this out. Looks like here to here because it was for the small radiator. They did a bit of tack in here. It's not in bad shape. It's not rotted out. At least it's all in one piece. I think he got 100 on that. And what was the other thing? I'm trying to remember what else I bought. I knew there was something else, but let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 items. It was $400 for all that. And then I picked up the rear from another guy in PA. That was a 10 bolt with 308s. It was an open rear, nice and clean, from 68, all painted up. And he charged me $100 on that, which was fine. No brakes, no drums, but everything else was there. It was clean, so it was well worth it. So we have a rear for this, but I need bushings for the control arms. I got another list, a sub list. Ha, a sub list. Yeah, Yeah, you don't want to look at that. So maybe tonight. Oh yeah, here's what they cut out on the one that I have. They cut this section out. Big blocks are cut out for more airflow. So the difference on these, big block and small block only has 3 bolts that hold down the radiator support, the holder for the radiator. Big block, they tack a nut on the backside like this. They tack a nut there, 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 and there, and that's your 4-bolt one, 4-bolt holder, which is wider and longer for the bigger radiators. That's the difference between 6 and 8 and 6 and small block and big block, and also has to do with the width of this, I believe, too. So this one obviously has been modified a little bit. So I guess tonight we're gonna work on. I guess we're gonna pull the front end off this car. I guess he didn't have any bumpers. He only had 68 bumpers. So I'm gonna, and I'm looking for a 68. He did have a grill, but mine's okay. He was trying to sell me all this NOS stuff. He's trying to make a purist out of me, blah, 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 and, you know, trying to sell me stuff. He had these, but they were still in the GM boxes. I don't need that at eBay prices. And he kept, well, on eBay, I'm like, look, Evil Bay is evil. People in Evil Bay live in a whole nother world. Everything's expensive. Nobody can afford it unless you have it like that. I stay away from that. I'll buy repop and use stuff all day long. You can keep your Evil Bay GM wrappered stuff. So as soon as you took the wrapper off, guess what? What's the wrapper do? Goes in the trash. All right, I'm ranting. So let's get this thing apart. I want to work on this thing. Fun part's going to be getting the hood off, which I should be able to do that. It's a lot lighter than a 68 or 60 or 70, 71, 72 hood. A little more easier to control, because it doesn't have that big point on the front. It's not as heavy. So, all right, enough ranting. I'm getting back to work. All right, so I was digging through the car, and in between the seats was this time slip. Welcome to Old Bridge Township, Raceway Park. Please report incorrect numbers to the control room. I don't know what it says, LO4. At 1:25 p.m. on October 7th, 2006. And this car's number is 8836. So there's a time slip. Reaction time 9:08. I'm blind, so let me try to read this farther away the better. 60 foot was a 2.575. The 330 it won a 7.49. And the 8th mile on 11.98 at 53.13 miles an hour. The quarter mile was 19.361 at 65.91 mile an hour. Yeah, we were flying. The other guy, he was going 1350s at 112. So I wonder if this is the last pass this thing made when it blew up. Because there's no way this car was going 19s, even with that basically a little over stock engine. Well, no, this cam intake. That's it. A lot of gear. So that's a pretty good piece. I'm going to put this in the glove box. It's a piece of history of this car. Maggie, why are you licking the wheels off the transmission? Oh my God. Where do I find these dogs? I think we got defective puppies. All right, so I'm going to put this back in the car. So we will have kind of a little bit of history. I wish there were more of these, but who knows where they went. And if they sit out in the sun, obviously they fade. This one was not. So it's going to go right in there and close that up. There's the massive undertaking removal of a bunch of wire that I just pulled out from under the dash. Unnecessary switches that didn't work, they're no longer used, and they're going away. You know what? Only thing I think I'm going to save out of all this are these 2 clips right here. That's that one for HEI, that for HEI, ignition, tachometer. All right, the tach is out. I will reuse this again because it has a shift light, which is nice with the stick, and it's cool. There's actually one of these in the 71 Firebird Tweedy out there, but no shift light. It's kind of vintage. 80s or 90s. I think it's 90s. I don't even know who it's made by. Pretty cool though. Alright, there's my mishap of junk I pulled off of here. I got off much as I could with the plasma cutter. The rest will be with a hand grinder, because you can't get too close with this thing. It just destroys the tip on these guns and on the torches. So it's just better off just getting a big old grinder and taking it down, and we'll throw a little paint on this. I'm going to keep this outside covered up for a little while until I'm ready to use it. Probably put the 10 bolt in there. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys the 10 bolt I picked up. It has 308s in it. I'm kind of on the fence. You can put this in there for now. It's clean, gears are clean. It's a 68 unit, new bushings, everything. It's really super clean. I can either put that in there for now, or I can put that in my 4-door, which is better than a 273. Not much, but it's a little better. And we could put the 12 bolt. But the problem is I gotta buy a set of gears. I gotta clean up that posi unit and put an installation kit and set it up in order to run that rear and that car. So it's kind of on the fence with that. So these are all boxed from the factory. It's had a sway bar on it originally. I guess they took it off. Actually, supposed to leave the rear sway bar on for racing. So I don't know. All right, let me get some stuff put away. Somebody's supposed to be coming over from a marketplace sale, and they're late as usual, typical marketplace. So we'll be back. All right, the hood is off. Yep, I think this is coming off tonight. Take the nose off. So been busy working on this, and I got the 10 bolt up here, 12 bolts over there. All the brackets are ground off of it. Now I have this, my first coat of paint on the radiator support. I'm just starting to see there's been some damage to this one, and I think that guy screwed me that I bought the parts for. I think this thing's going to be overpriced junk. So I paid $150 for it, and he bought it for $75, and it's been modified. You know, hey, you know what? Everybody's out to make some money, but I feel royally, my butt hurts. Especially all that. It really was hard to tell until you paint it and you see it all. And I didn't know that one of these ends, this end here, was opened up until the former owner that he sold it to, he got it from, told me, oh yeah, that was opened up. I'm like, oh, so it's modified, and now I see it's crashed. I gotta quit throwing on this, because I'm just getting tired of marketplace people. And he kept saying, oh, I'm not making any money, I'm making a couple dollars, I'm making a couple dollars. You paid $75, I paid $150 now. When I found that out, that didn't sit well with me. So yeah, he's one of them eBay guys, loves his eBay. Well, take that eBay and stick it where the sun don't shine, because I hate eBay. Always have. Overpriced, evil bay garbage. You want to spend too much on restoration? Order it through eBay. These guys are ridiculous. So anyway, let's get off that topic before I look for beer, which I have done. So I blasted and painted all these control arms today, and I ordered bushings for the unit, and I put welded washers on both sides of these because they were egg shaped. So I made them nice and tight again when I put the bolts through. I'm going to put new bolts, new bushings. These bushings, actually, I left them in here. They're not bad at all. I ordered new ones, but we can use them. I could still change them. Doesn't matter. So I'm letting this paint Still a little, it's okay, it's dry, but we'll put them to a ready. I just blasted them a little bit, just take some of the scale off. I'm going to try to get some heat paint on those if I have enough. And I think, oh yeah, I just blasted the tank, and she done. So right here, there's some heavy pitting, and if I knock this rust off, there will be a hole here. There's a pinhole there, and there's a hole right there, and this has been repaired. There was actually a tag on this said Fingers Radiator Repair, which was a gas tank and radiator repair shop local to us way back in the day. So this was definitely repaired by them way back. So I'm going to try to find a new one, trying to fix that and clean it out. By the time I do that, it's probably worth more than a new one if I can find one. So yeah, that's about it for now. I think I'm going to start blasting that front end apart, and yeah, go from there. All right, I guess it's time. Start cutting this thing apart. Am I going to regret this? Maybe. Is it going to help? Oh yeah. A couple of things. Get rid of this rusty radiator support. Get these out of here. I got new inner 8-arm flaps coming in. I can pull all these staples out. I can access this heater core and maybe change that while I'm here. And plus the blower doesn't work, and we can get all the mouse nest and poop out of there while we got it out. So that's 3 things. 4 things, we can touch everything up and go through stuff. And also, I don't know. I'll think of something. Good enough excuse. So I'll be armed with a Harbor Freight air ratchet, 1/2-inch 9/16 socket, and a fresh battery. And we're gonna get to town. Yep. I'm going to take my chances and roll this off. Since I think I'm disconnected, it's just heavy. I got to be careful with my shoulder. Come on, you can do it. Don't be scared, little wabbit. That's what I call success. All right, guys. My Lord. Shoo. Well, that grill, I don't know if that's going to survive, but the header panel is definitely junk. Phew. What a disaster. So now I got to find some place to put this and dissect all the bad stuff off of it and see what I'm going to need. I already know I'm going to need the eyebrows. I don't know. So next I got to cut off these, or maybe I can get them off, these bolts for the front end mount. Yeah, I think that's going to be a trick and a treat. What are you doing there, Panzer? Gather. Well, that was pretty easy. That wasn't bad for as rusty as it was. What are you doing, Panzer Man? Yep, Panzer come over here to visit me. Right, Panzer Man? What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, little bud? Now watch yourself. That wasn't bad. I'm hoping I could just buy these front mounts. These are pretty, There's my front mounts. Yep. This one here isn't even attached. And don't you be taking those rubber parts and eating them either. Panzer, beat it. Because you'll be walking out here with parts or something. It wants to come out, but it's not. Oop. Oh, shoot. I think I just busted that. Well, I needed to know it anyway, because they were broken, but now they're really broken. Okay. That there is junk. So I'm going to take the headlight buckets out of it, and the springs, if they're even any good. So there it is. Completely gone. There's one rubber mount. The other one. Hey, quit tooting over there. There's the other one. All right, so this is the final coat of paint on the one side of the new radiator support. And Panzer seems to be, guess he's not interested. Okay, let's get some paint on this. Getting late. Maggie's getting tired. I'm getting hungry. I'm ready to go grilling. Yeah, if it serves me right, this should be ready to come off. Oh, I think there's one up in the door jamb over here somewhere. I forget now. Let's take a look. Ah, yes, there is. Uh-huh. Yes. All kinds of stuff. See if I can get the socket. Oh boy. I guess I'm not gonna get the ratchet in there, so I'm gonna have to get a 9/16 gear wrench. Because if I'm going to ratchet this one, please don't break. And there she goes. The only thing I don't like is about when I do change the fenders or any parts and do body work, I'm going to mess up this nice gold matching paint. I mean, it ain't the greatest thing in the world, but it'd be nice if it was all one color. Because I'm not going to get the paint any day soon. So, we'll see what happens. At least if it was one color and it was raggy, I wouldn't mind, but... Where does this go? To the passenger side? Wow. There it goes. Okay. Let's see how this goes. I think she's ready to pop. There she goes. Nicey goodness in there. I don't see any rot in the cowling. So I have to put the car in here to get this outside. So I'm seeing some promising stuff here. Alright, so I'm seeing a decent frame here. I'm seeing that this is usually rotted out, and we look good here. I want to reseal, seam seal all this, because this is where it leaks on your feet. Oh wow, even this is still intact. I think they repop these, but if they, yeah, this is going. If I can get them again, I'm putting them in. It keeps all the trash out and the wind noise out of the door jamb. There's the bottom of your fender bolt. I'm gonna have to cut that off. I'll have to vacuum all that out, but no, it looks good. Usually this is one of the spots that likes to rot out, and it looks good. So I'll go over, that's all seam sealed. I'll pull all this off. As you can see, it's coming off. they just brush it on there. I wish I could find that brush on stuff. That would be nice. Clean this up again. They probably make it. I gotta find it. I'm not a big Eastwood fan, but I guess I would try them. But all this needs to be redone. Usually I use a caulk gun and I just, you know, put the seam sealer on my finger. So, all right, that's one fender. One to go. All right, so along with the bolt that got stripped off and I had to cut off, there were two of these holding the bottom of the fender to the body. I can't stand stuff like that. That drives me nuts. All right, here we go. Hopefully the antenna gives it up. Hopefully we don't find any surprises back there. There ain't much room in here to work, so if I bump the camera, you'll know. All right, looks like we're gonna have to do some inner fender work on the front there where the battery's at. Oh, guess what? The antenna was a fake. Gotta love it. All right, guys, welcome back to Anything Goes Garage. Been a little busy this week. The weather's finally beautiful. It's a whole, what it's supposed to be. 68, 70 degrees today. Been a little on the chilly side. I'm busy in the shop best I can, and parts are slowly trickling in, and we're getting a few things done. I'll show you what I got and show what I did past couple days with the time I had to work on this. Here we go. All right, so here's the beginning here. We got 4 new shocks from Rock Auto, and I did order control arm bushings, and here are the rear wheel cylinders. That's an empty box. Of course, you see we got the front end apart. The other fender, I took that apart. It was too far gone in the inner well. I'm gonna have to find another fender in inner well. That one might be savable. I didn't look behind the patch panel, but we get this 308 rear sitting here. I think we're gonna put that in there. That already has new bushings in it, so 2 of those bushings I will not use. Also, I started doing some undercoating and painting under here. So we're getting a little something done. I did the first coat. I still got to do a little more undercoating. There's still the factory stuff on there, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But I got to do the second coat of semi-gloss. This way I'm doing this area right now. What I did was I wire brushed it, blew it off, and just shot it with some paint. I'm going to do some more, and then we're going to stick this rear in. I found I got a hole here in the back floor. I think there's a pinhole there. Otherwise the rest of it don't look bad. I got to finish wire brushing the whole thing down that way, and I'll probably undercoat it. That I'm going to have to do something with and pull that out of there. But otherwise, yeah, there's a lot of wire brushing, and it was a very, very, very dirty job. This I'm going to wait on because it does have holes in the floor, pinholes, like rust here. I don't know whether I'm going to patch it or they sell an insert. I don't know yet. So worst comes to worst, we'll put some cheap black paint on it or something and go from there. I cleaned up in there. The only thing left is that old undercoating. So I'm going to re-seam seal this seam. They use tar or seam sealer on it. It goes all the way down and around. I'll redo that. For some reason it's something mechanical. Metal went through that. Somebody rolled this lip, and of course it rotted behind it, but no rubber underneath there. Yeah, a little bit right there. There's a couple holes here I'm gonna have to patch up. Got some breather holes through the rocker. I blew the rockers out there. Actually weren't bad. So I'm still waiting on other parts. I'm waiting for a brake booster and a heater blower motor. I did get all that apart, and I got a bunch of blasting to do, and I'm still in the, I don't know if I'm going to repair that fuel tank if I can, or buy a new one. Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Friday. It's early in the morning, and yeah, we're going to get things done today. We have gotten things done today. So, got the old 10 bolt reassembled. Unfortunately, somebody put the backing plates on backwards, so the emergency brake cables would have came in from the rear. So I pulled them apart, and I found a little bit of metal inside the thing, so I washed it out real good and checked everything out. Everything looks okay. It spins over nice, so we're going to take our chances on that. I'm going to make an attempt to get this thing in the car. I want to get this thing down on 4 wheels and get it outside. I need to get that front clip blasted. I want to get that painted and get this engine set in here. get moving on this thing. Not like I haven't been doing anything. Plenty to do. I am, here we go, here's the catch. I am using headers. Yeah, headers. So, I know, everybody busts my chops. Use headers, use headers, use headers. I get it. Well, I had a set for my 72 Chevelle, my blue and white car, when I ran small blocks and nitrous and all that. They were actually really good. I don't remember what brand, Headman's or something. They were really good headers. They never leaked. I stood on top of the bolts. The flanges are nice. And then I ran them in my 68 Chevelle, the small block with a kit on it. They never leaked. The only thing I did was change the front tube because it wouldn't clear the angle plugs, but it didn't leak. So I'm gonna take a chance, especially I'm on a budget. I'm trying to do this on a budget because since the exhaust already bolts up to a set of headers, I'm trying to cut costs. So that was another reason I'm using the headers too. So I ain't gotta have a whole exhaust system made up again or head pipes. I'm gonna have tailpipes made. I'll bite the bullet on that, but let me get this car in the air and I'll show you what I got done. All right, so we got this inner fender well. I gotta fix all that yet. We're gonna have to weld some patches in there and trim that up. But I got that seam done up in there. I got this all undercoated. This is painted and undercoated where it needs to be. I got my control arms just up here and hung for the time being until I get everything together. And we're getting there. So I still have to scrape and blast all that. I gotta scrape this, fix the holes, all that good stuff. So that's later on, but I wanna finish under the hood first. This can be done last. So I'm gonna have to mix some paint up, put it in the gun and shoot that. So let's get this thing in here. Stay. And there it goes. I just hope this thing don't go swinging down now. I think that one control arm pulled it. There we go. Had to be up higher. That's what I was doing wrong. Twist on this thing a little bit. I got it. Woo! Sucks being left-handed sometimes. There it goes. Damn pollen. Pollen's flying today. Welcome to spring. That's all right. Better than cold and windy. I'll take this any day. And yes, they are grade 8 bolts. Bless you, Maggie. No barkies. You do not like that dog across the street, do you? Yes, I'm that guy that turns the washer over to the smooth side. Yes. There we go. I went the wrong way. Hit the button. Oopsie. Sorry, Maggie. Drop the washer. Don't really need this for a 305 on street tires in a wagon. Not racing it. But we'll repurpose that again. All right, so there's where we're at on the ground. Of course, the front end's going to say higher, no engine in it. There's the 14s, but they're little tiny 14s. It does sit kind of low. I mean, I can always get a heavier duty spring. And that's about it, so. All right, well, I think it's a phone call you might want to answer. All right, so yesterday I found some Rustola, a lower windshield. So I'm gonna reseal this. Plus, you can also push the window in, so that means it's rusted under there and the butyl tape ain't sealing anymore. So I guess I'll push this thing outside right now and set up the blaster. I'm waiting on another phone call. I might have another special project. Just what I need, more projects. Did anybody not see half the cars in my yard? Ah, glutton for punishment. Whatever. Oops, steering wheel locked. So far, push this. Without killing myself. All right, trailer's hooked to the truck again. And yes, we're off to get up another project. This time it isn't mine. So, yeah, I have enough of them. So we're gonna hop in the truck now and take a ride a couple towns over. All right, so this is a 1938 Ford Woody. And obviously it's a Woody. It's really nice. Man who has this, he's got this farm here. He's 91 years old and still going strong. He's got an old farm here. Really cool stuff here. So anyway, she's got her original paint, looks like, on her. It's a lacquer. And we have a flatty. She makes a noise supposedly, and I think we may have a coolant flow problem, but he's going to start her up. 1967, that was the last inspection. Excuse me. He sure is pretty.
I got the front, the inside done. Then I had them done too. Now the spare tire.
It's got that mothball smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there they are, the mothball smell. Old car smell, mothball smell.
Let me get the iron, I'll show you. The spare tire goes right here.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There's a bracket, a bolt on there. I didn't put it back on because it's right in the way of people's knees.
Yeah, yep.
And you can probably find, if you find one of them, know your fingers. And you can probably put it on. I didn't put it in because
that's all right. We'll figure that out. Yeah.
It's right in the way.
Very nice. The old plate on it.
Well, they're kind of rare, actually.
Yeah?
There's only 6,000 some of them made, I think.
Oh, really? Huh.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
That's what I looked it up on.
Well, you don't see them around here in Jersey, that's for sure. Shoo!
More mothballs.
More mothballs.
Now I got this other piece you put on there, Keith. I thought I had another cut, but I can't find it.
Let's take a look on the inside. The seats are all redone. Phew, that mothball smell. Oh, man. Oh. Oof. She has 21,086.
That is something, Keith. I don't know what.
Yeah, this is really nice. And she's got some, issues, but still, it's an original Woody wagon. Look at that.
What it is.
Hey, Keith, you got your surfboard?
Yeah, really?
Got to put your surfboard mounts on. Come on, we're going down the seaside. Go to Island Beach, jump in the water.
Saw this one at first.
Wide whites.
Oh, that's good. The guy had it.
Running boards. All the rubber's still vulcanized to the running boards. I wonder if these work. These are nice. Guide. 5 3/4 fog lamp. A little bit of issue here, but this is, of course, this is always, seems like the driver's sides always take a hit. Traffic gets them. Delaminated glass, but that's all right. You know what? This thing's got character. I'm gonna have to fix this hinge. She's loose. That's all. Oh man, I'm gonna have to open this window. This stinks. I gotta put this on the trailer. Oh. Wow, this thing is beautiful. It's a really, really nice car, or truck, wagon. Yes. Man. This will be interesting. Here, I want to show you this Gibson. I guess it's a snowplow tractor. It's not homemade. Gibson Longmont, Colorado. Longmont, Colorado. Gibson 300. It's got a little gearbox in here. And here's how you steer it. Look at that. Crazy, huh? No steering wheel. Looks like it's powered by a Wisconsin. Say a Wisconsin. It is for sale. It's got no recoil starter. You gotta wrap the cord around it to start it. Uh-oh, she locked up too. Oh, that sucks. So, looks like we got an extra fender and a spare wheel. That's a spare tire. Well, that's a nice fender. That's some extra parts, looks like. Hopefully no more mothballs. Oh yeah. Yes, that's the spare tire holder. See what other goodies are in there. Oh, radio. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on with this and
I don't know about that, Frank knows what it is. I never got into Woodies. What's that, Frank?
let me see. That is, oh, good question. Let me see. It is a
Resistor or something.
Model F6 yellow signal switch. Let's see. OAK to ignition terminal, yellow to signal switch. Oh, it's a flasher. That's an old school flasher.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. New old stock.
How about that?
Yeah, I guess it goes for this thing right here. The turn signals, I want to say.
I put them on, but it's got a newer kind one on there.
Yeah, it's before they were the little round push-in ones. Pretty cool.
They're off of the
Beautiful car. Yeah, this is gonna be fun cruise around in because I'm gonna steal it. Keith doesn't know it yet. All right, we're gonna get ready to get this thing loaded. Actually, we'll have it running in a few minutes, and I'll show you guys that. Got some tightening, some hardware here.
The headlights work?
See, that's the hood prop. Oh, I see. That's the hood prop. Cool.
I got it running with a spark. Told me, he says the place down the road you can stay, but I don't want you to stay there. It didn't say by you. He says going up. Somebody told me to get off somewhere. Anyhow, it was a convenience store of some kind. They were going to set the trailer up there, so we went with the trailer. I said, I'm not setting it up there, too much activity.
Yeah,
Guys running in down there. So he says, I'll stop by on my way home. He says, I live in Manhattan, Kansas. I'll stop and see if you're okay, which is decent of him.
Yeah.
And he did. So then we drove on up to Manhattan, got the last motel room. One of the best ones I ever had. I mean, the cleanest. Let me put the cleanest.
That's the same car you drove across country twice?
Yep.
My life.
Drove them on? Wow.
And with a trailer.
With a trailer on the back?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, it had all your tools and parts and whatever you needed,
I
or?
lived in it.
Oh, like a camper. Wow.
Coleman camper, one of the smallest you can get. Then later on,
Yeah. Like the Aero ones or whatever, the little guys.
it was a one bedder, and they only gave him a year or two, but
Yeah.
it was fine for that. But still didn't have enough power to pull it. And then I got a different trailer, an old U-Haul.
Yeah.
Remodeled that.
Wow. You did this twice?
Yeah, but with the Coleman.
Yeah.
I started
Wow.
out with this one in here, and we'll pull over the mountains. I said, I'm going back and change it right away. So we went back home, loaded in the Coleman camper, because that's what we went in.
Oh.
And you took your Model A up Pikes Peak, right?
Yeah, twice.
Wow.
The second time I wanted to ride up the side, but yeah.
Some of the new cars can't even make it up that thing.
Nice road to go up though. You been up it?
No, I just saw videos of people racing up it and stuff. That's pretty cool.
It's a nice road.
Yeah.
They keep it well leveled up and everything. Check on the way down, see if the brakes are hot.
Yeah.
Because we had to run in second gear so it wasn't hot.
Yeah. Yep.
Nicest hill to climb is was it White Mountains? What's that hill? I got to sing in another car, but you go up there. That's a fun drive.
Yeah.
Different kind of road. It's steep, curling.
Yeah.
Well, Pikes Peak, that's
Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak.
But that's asphalt,
Oh no,
right?
it's out west. Yeah.
I thought some of that was gravel too. No. Or no?
A
Yeah.
lot of us gravel, but it was in good shape. It's wide
Yeah.
and wasn't bad.
Huh. Interesting.
Anyhow.
That's cool.
This I haven't run. The farthest I've been is Trent.
Yeah.
Locally, I've been up.
How long you owned it?
I looked in the box of the radio. It said 1988 when I packed it up, so
Oh.
must have been a little before that.
Nice.
Now I don't know about the radio. A man told me it fit in there. That's all I can tell you. He bought it for me. What else do I want to tell you? Something else. Let's see. You got a Fender.
Yep. Fender
Got
spare.
engine cans. Maybe one of them might fit. I don't know.
Nice Fender.
Fenders.
Yeah. Nice Fender.
There's a radio, and this is the thing for the spare tire.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah, that's cool.
You have to need some new bolts. That's all. I lost some of them.
Yeah.
The one part goes on the seat, and the other. That's just probably with the seat. I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah.
And this is the panels. Go on the
The
side.
kick panel.
They're covered with a.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep.
I haven't had them out since I
Kick
put them in
panels.
there, so I can't tell you. And this is old floorboards.
Oh yeah, look at that.
If you want them for patterns,
It's the old crates they used to put the parts in, and then they made them into floorboards.
that's what's left of the aerial.
Oh yeah.
This is new running board cover.
Oh yeah, look at
I
that.
bought it long ago, but I guess it's okay yet. And what's the other? There's a jack there. You can have that.
Cool.
What else?
Nice.
What else you got here?
Very nice Fender. Something you see out west.
These are kept because I thought they might be good for patterns.
All right, through that conversation, I missed part of it. He drove across the United States in his Model T twice, and he was talking about Pikes Peak pulling a little camper, one-person camper. So he said this man's been there, done that. And he's a farmer, a vegetable farmer, many years. He's 91 years old, and said he's doing really well. And he's given up his old girl he's had since the 80s, and it's going to a good home. She got a little knock in the engine. We're not sure if it's in the engine, could be something else. It's got juice brakes don't work, e-brake works. I would have filmed it going on the trailer, but this was very hairy getting on the trailer, working the clutch and the hand brake, and I couldn't, or the emergency brake, and then holding the camera, and somebody guided me on that, just wasn't happening. So as we go here, I'm not sure what we're doing with this tonight. I got to get in the shop. I do have a bay open, but I guess I could put it in shop on the lift for tonight and find out where the knock. Hopefully it's not Uncle Rodney looking to get out. If it is, then the engine's going to have to come out. We're going to have it sent out and rebuilt, because I haven't done a flathead yet, a V8. All right, so we're back at the shop here with this 38 Ford. The plan is to get this on the lift. We need to check out why the brakes don't work, and it does have juice brakes. It goes to the floor. I don't see any fluid, but it could be a bad oil cylinder. Could be something. The fluid could have evaporated. God only knows. Emergency brake works. I think they're set a little too tight also, because they seem to be dragging when it's rolling. Go through the wiring. We have to find out why this engine's making a noise. It sounds like a knock, but it could be anything. Let's hope not. Also, it needs an oil pressure switch. I think it needs a thermostat. Maybe one of the thermostats he says he thinks is hanging up. Otherwise, overall, the car is in good shape. It's 95% original. But yeah, this is the real deal. Flathead V8, 3-speed. All the wood the termites can eat. Yep. And she's got her driver's side damage, just like all the old cars did. So let me get this thing off the trailer, and I'm gonna unhook the truck, the trailer, start putting some stuff away for the night. And I think we're gonna regroup for tomorrow. Oh God, these mothballs. right, guys, I'm gonna end this here, and I'm gonna leave you hanging on this. So next week we will have some coverage on this 38 Woody wagon, and we'll go through everything that I said we were going to, and just give it the once over. We'll make this so it's a nice little driver. It's not a restoration. It doesn't want a restoration. You just want something that's runs, drives, stops, goes, does car things. So also we're still working on that. I'll have some more footage on that again. I've got parts trickling in today, tomorrow, probably Monday, and that's about it. So all right, guys, well, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, until next time, see you later.